And a good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Paulo Salazar. As the Texas legislature convened today, dozens of Democrats were in Washington, D.C. They left the state in two chartered planes in an effort to block a Republican-backed voting bill. Democrats walked out in May, but this is the first time they've gone this far, putting a national spotlight on what many are calling an attack on democracy. Haley Jackson reports.
Ditching their state overnight, potentially risking arrest when they get back. Texas state Democrats blocking Republican bills on voting rights with a walkout gone airborne.
We had no other option, and so we took a stand.
Arriving in Washington, more than 50 state lawmakers on a pair of private planes from Austin. Their absence now preventing Texas Republicans from passing those voting bills, since they'd need 2/3 of the chamber present. Critics say the Texas bills would make it harder for minority voters by adding new identification requirements for mail-in voting, banning some early voting options like 24-hour and drive-through voting, and creating new criminal penalties for breaking election code. With the dramatic departure, the Democrats hope to highlight their mission and put pressure on Congress to act.
You must pass strong federal voter protection legislation, and you must do it now. You must do it before the August recess.
The U.S. Senate stalled on a sweeping plan that would protect voting rights. Republicans don't support it, and not enough Democrats want to change the Senate rules to pass it along party lines. But Texas Democrats are all but begging for backup. Texas Republicans slamming the walkout as a stunt, arguing Democrats are abandoning their responsibilities.
Well, I would say it's a very un-Texan thing to do, to cut and run in the face of a fight.
Overnight, the state's Republican governor suggesting the walkout simply delays the inevitable.
Once they step back into the state of Texas, they will be arrested and brought to the Texas Capitol, and we will be conducting business.
Nationally, more than a dozen states, including Florida, Georgia, and Iowa, have put similar voting restrictions in place, with bills in progress in many other places. Now, President Biden in Philadelphia today, planning to use the power of his bully pulpit in a speech focusing on voting rights.